Hello, everyone. This is a comparison of three Wi-Fi encryption breaking tools by our team with Kevin, Daniel, Riley, and Nick. The start of wireless networking began relatively recently with the creation of AlohaNet in 1971, which was a packet radio network designed by Professor Norman Abramson at the University of Hawaii. Unfortunately, the speeds on this band of the spectrum were too slow to be useful, so it wasn't until the opening of the 2.4 gigahertz band by the FCC in 1985 that things really began to take off. When it became apparent that a standard was needed for these emerging wireless networks to communicate on, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers designed and released the 802.11 standard in 1997 with wired equivalent privacy, or WEP encryption. WEP was quickly broken, however, so Wi-Fi Protected Access, or WPA, replaced it in 2003, followed by WPA2 in 2004, and finally WPA3 in 2018. Wireless encryption has become increasingly important these days, with the average American owning more than 10 wireless home devices. Our goal will be to compare three tools to break Wi-Fi encryption and provide a demonstration of the one determined to be the most effective.
So the first tool that we're going to talk about is CommView for Wi-Fi, which I would describe as an industry-level Wireshark. So shown here in the photo, you can see all the networks near my house that run on 802.11 AC, which I believe is the 5 gigahertz frequency. It also displays the other ones, but it just couldn't show them all in one screenshot. So it shows you different nodes and then of networks and then devices connected to said networks. You can also see it just showing like different information based off of what channel you're running on. And you can also see the latest IP connections to said access points. It also just displays different packets that are going across the networks. And as you can see, there's a small key in the toolbar up top. If you have the password for a Wi-Fi network, then you can give it that password and it can decrypt the packets on the fly and you can see what's going across the network. Then you have logging, and then you can also specify rules to only show packets based off of like specific access points or specific devices or other things like that. Another tool I like to use was the aliases tool. As you can see highlighted, the one labeled home, that's not actually the name there. So I copied the MAC address of my access point at my house, and then I set it to be that alias. So anytime that MAC address pops up, it displays home instead of that actual MAC address.
Cloudcracker is another good tool to use for cracking passwords. It's an online password cracking service, which makes it very easy to access, and it's mostly used for WPA and WP2 data encryption standards. However, there are other data encryption standards that you can crack on this site. The maximum time it'll take to crack a token is about 26 hours. Some benefits of using Cloudcracker is it's very straightforward to use. All you have to do is extract a token and put it in the input field, and you don't have to download any additional software outside of whatever packet sniffer you'd like to use. It is a paid service, but if the website can't crack your token, you get 100% of your money back. So here's an example of using Cloudcracker. You use a packet sniffing tool to extract the information you need. And depending on what data encryption standard you'd like to use, the website has a lot of tutorials on which packet sniffing tool to use and what you're looking for within the packets. Once you have the token you need, all you do is put it in the input field, you set a priority, and then that's it. And the website will crack your token for you.
AirCrack is a series of command line tools which work together to assess Wi-Fi security. AirCrack has tools for monitoring, attacking, testing, and of course, cracking. It works with any network interface controller capable of capturing packets within the 802.11 band of wireless traffic. And now a few tools listed here, which you'll see used later, are AirDump, NG, AirPlay NG, and then of course AirCrack. AirDump is used for the actual capturing of these packets. AirPlay is used to inject frames into wireless traffic. And then AirCrack is of course used to recover keys once enough packets have been captured. So AirCrack, the tool is of course the tool that the suite is named for, and it works off of two main methods. The first one, known as the PTW approach, this is the default cracking method and is done in 2 steps. In step 1, AirCrack only uses ARP packets in an attempt to find the key. And if unable to successfully do that, it moves on to step 2, utilizing all the packets from the capture, although not necessarily all of these packets will be helpful. Additionally, the PTW attack can only crack 40 and 104-bit WEP keys, although the advantage to PTW is that very few packets are actually required to obtain the WEP key. The other method used is the FMS or the Core K method. It's a little bit older and incorporates various statistical attacks in addition to brute force to obtain the key. It does require more packets, but can sometimes succeed when PTW fails. Now, it's important to note a 4-way handshake is required as input when attempting to crack WPA and WPA pre-shared keys, but AirCrack NG can work successfully with only 2 of the 4 keys. Now onwards to the comparison of these 3 tools. Our team evaluated these 3 tools off of 5 main points, those being services offered, accessibility, ease of use, community support, and of course, price. Starting at the bottom with Cloudcracker. Cloudcracker in itself is a very powerful password cracker. It is incredibly accessible since it is hosted or interacted with through a web page. Any device that is Wi-Fi enabled can, in theory, access the Cloudcracker website. However, since you do need to provide your own packets, you do need a device capable of capturing that wireless traffic to interact with Cloudcracker successfully. However, once you do have those packets, it is very easy to upload your packets and then to download your results. All of the computation is handled by the Cloudcracker service. It is a paid service. It will crack your paths and they guarantee to crack the password or to give you your money back. However, they do charge by job, and sometimes these jobs, depending on what it is you're trying to crack and the urgency, can cost up to $1,000. ComView for Wi-Fi is a network and packet analyzer. This does require a computer with a Wi-Fi adapter. However, once you do have the software, the company Tamos, who is responsible for the software, provides constant updates as well as customer support. So it really is ready to just sort of pick up and go out of the box, especially with the fully functional GUI. You do pay for this level of support though. It is $200 a year or $500 for one user for a lifetime subscription. The tool our team chose was AirCrack, and that is because it is a full suite of network monitoring and attack tools. It works with most major operating systems and has an extensive online community and documentation. The software is free. It comes standard with Kali Linux. However, one downside may be it is required that you have a familiarity with the command line. Now, for a small to medium-sized company offering white hat pen testing services, we thought that this requirement to use the command line wouldn't be as daunting. And if the company was offering pen testing services, they should already be hypothetically very familiar and very comfortable with the command line, making this less of an issue.
So here we're going to show you an example of a deauthentication attack. So first, we're going to use the command iwconfig to see what network cards are connected to my system. We're focusing on WLAN 1 here, as you can see, is in manage mode. So next, we're going to use the airmon check kill to kill any processes running that might interfere with the network card when it's in monitor mode and somehow kick it out. So then we're going to use airmon again to start the network card and put it into monitor mode. We're going to use iwconfig again to verify that we are in monitor mode. And we can see the name changed to WLAN1 mon instead of just WLAN1. Next, we're going to use AeroDump with that network card to see all the different networks near my house. And the one we're interested in is my iPhone. So we're going to take down its MAC address, and then we're going to paste it into our script. And then we will use the same command or same program again while specifying a place where to save our capture file and specify what channel it is running on, as well as the specific MAC address we're interested in. So once this gets going, we need to wait for a different device connected to said access point. And sees we got one. So we're going to take down its MAC address and then use that in our script to then deauthenticate this specific user. So we use the AirPlay program for that. And with the deauth of 0, that means deauthenticate as many times as you can until we stop the program. You can give it a specific number there to deauthenticate a specific amount of times. So as you can see in the arrow dump on the left side, we have captured a WPA handshake, and that's the important part. So we're going to end that capture, which saves it. And then we're going to use AirCrack with said file and compare it with a word list. For here, we're going to use RockU, and then it'll just begin doing the comparison. And if it finds a match, it will return the password. Now, I'm not sure why it stopped one short of it, but it will update to the correct password and display key found. So key found of the password of Top Gun 1986, which was the password used for my hotspot. And these are the sources used throughout our presentation. Thank you guys for watching.